Carla.
I'm Jackson. We're here to do a composting video
And
to go and gather.
And a call to action.
Hi, I'm Jackson. So I'm going to show you how to compost for people who think it might be scary. So here we have our bin. We have our seasonal bin. That one's making dirt for our garden, so that one's breaking down. This one's our fresh one. You can see the eggshells and other stuff, twigs and leaves. It's halfway or so into the process. So in here, it's like every adult's dream in a pot. So we have a bunch of eggs. Maybe don't look at the top ones. And a bunch of coffee grounds. So we're just gonna dump these in. And it might look disgusting. That's okay. Go grab some water, please. Okay. And then we're gonna do some of this. Has a bunch of mold on it, so I'm going to hold my breath. Okay. So now we have these pieces of bag here. These are browns. I'll add some more browns in here later. But we have some teared off pieces from a bigger bag that we're no longer going to use, either because it's stained or broken. So we're just going to tear them up into like yeso pieces and throw them in so they can decompose. Never do plastic. That's a big no. No meat. Aside from eggs, no bones. Because those are for big companies. So that should be good. We'll put in the rest later. Now we're gonna put in this big bucket of water. And it should have all the bottom parts of it. So about one more, half of this more. And so we're just gonna have half more put in. So while we're doing that, we're just gonna put in a little bit more cardboard or a paper bag, whatever you wanna call it, cardboard bag. So, yeah. Okay, so now we're gonna add our browns, and while I'm doing this, so 2 adult handfuls for this load, 4 for me because I have smaller hands. But get that much, get a good load of leaves and twigs. Talking about those, so I'm gonna talk about browns and greens. So browns are like what I'm putting in: twigs, dry leaves, not dry grass. Never put that in. But like dry leaves, dry grass, dry like pine.
Not dried grass.
Not dry grass. Sorry. Stuttered. Dried pine needles work too. And then the greens: fruit, vegetables, grass. If you have grass, don't pull them out of your yard, please don't. Weeds can go in there. For browns and greens, we haven't figured out a place to put them yet because they're kind of both. And then water, always put water in there. And if it smells like rotten fruits and vegetables, put more of those browns in there. And if it smells dirt, smells really dirt free, smells like earth, too much of earth smell for you, add more fruit and add less browns in that round of composting. So I'm gonna shut this. Oh, and as I'm shutting this, you're gonna always wanna. Okay, so now that we have this lid shut, I'm just gonna. Mine doesn't do a full round because it's older. So we're just gonna give it a good mix up. Make sure it's locked. That's always good. So, yeah, make sure to give it a good roundabout. If it can do a roundabout. If it's too heavy for you and you're like my size, a kid or a teen, just do this. Either one works. So, thanks. I'll hand it off to my sister Carola. Bye.
Hi everybody, it's Carola and I'm here to tell you some pros for composting since some of you may be discouraged. Now I know there isn't as much access in Colorado, but I know there's some programs that are starting up in Colorado right now to give you your composting needs, so I'd highly recommend researching that. And I know that cost friendliness may be an issue for some of you, but if you think about it, you actually spend a lot of money on your fruits and vegetables and you waste majority of it, like the caps of these peppers or some raw onions that went bad. And so some good things that can come out of it is when you buy the barrels, which we bought our barrels like 4 or 5 years ago, we haven't regretted it since. We bought them from Costco and they've been perfect. We've saved a lot of money because we are reusing it to put it back in our garden. Now our garden really loves this very deep and rich soil. It helps our garden a lot to grow and it gives it the nutrients that it needs. So it's good for your planting needs and your gardening needs. Now in the end, there is just a lot of good that can come out of this and it's so friendly for your planet and I would highly recommend doing it. Some of you may be worried about space and it consuming space. But as you can see, we have it in the side of our house, so we don't really see very much. And so it's not a big worry about if it smells good or not, because honestly right now it smells like pollen, and that is a very nice smell to have. And some of you may be worried about the grossness. Now, if you leave it for a long time, it is going to be gross, and that's just a side effect. But honestly, I don't really mind it, and you can just finish it out with water, because of course when you're breaking stuff down, water is needed. But this is from today. And as you can see, it's very clean and green and there's not any mold. And so it's not very smelly and it doesn't take a lot to just put it in the composting container. So it saves you a lot of time from just procrastinating because it doesn't smell very good. And as my brother talked about, if you balance the greens and the browns, you will actually save the smell of your compost bin and it won't smell bad at all. Like when he was doing the presentation over there and I was looking over his shoulder because I'm his supportive sister, I couldn't smell the compost bin at all. It just gets absorbed by the air and it's perfectly balanced. So it just smells like soil. I hope you take this as a call to action. Remember, it's green,
It's non-smelly,
and it's cost effective.